A group of 3 men came to an island. They're here to guard the tower. The shift changes every 6 weeks. The 3 men are James, who has been guarding the tower for 25 years, and Thomas and Donald, who have just become tower guards. The next morning, they woke up. There were a lot of dead seagulls on the tower. James said it was all caused by the storm. Then the dog barked in the valley by the sea. The 3 of them went to the place to check it out. They saw a boat, a crate, and a man. Donald was sent down to check it out, but the man wasn't breathing. The next day, James came back from his patrol. He found the crate had been opened by Thomas and Donald. The 2 men were ecstatic with the gold bars inside. Donald was not as downcast as before. They both agreed that they had made a fortune. James knew it was a big deal. If he didn't know it was gold, then it was a legitimate defense for Thomas. If he knew it was gold, it was murder. The nature of the two is completely different. Thomas and the others had never thought about this. In the end, James thought about it and said, "In order to have this gold, we have to listen to him. First we dumped the bodies in the ocean. Then we put the gold in the trunk. When the shift changed, we took the gold out. Soon they saw a ship coming towards the island. It looked like it was coming. James told him to hide the bodies and the gold. He stayed on the shore to deal with it. 2 men came down from the boat, asked straight to the point. They said that the man took their things and ran away. James knew he couldn't hide it. So he said he did see the man, they said, but he was already dead. We called the police, and they took the man and the suitcase away about an hour ago. That's when Thomas and Donald arrived. They were outnumbered. Got past the island's radio channel and left. James told Donald to keep an eye on them from the shore and to hurry back to repair the radio. If they call the radio and find it's broken, they would have been exposed. But they were too late. The only thing they could hear on the radio was the other side's ranting and raving. Soon the 2 men realized they had been tricked. They couldn't make a sound. Then they turned around and headed back. Donald sees them and reports back. The next 3 were on the island with their weapons. The other 2 took the boat and circled the island. They followed the boat wherever it went. Until it was dark, the dog suddenly barked at the lighthouse. James rushed over with Donald to check it out, leaving Thomas here to guard the boat. Donald was knocked out with a stick right after he entered the house. Thomas was also knocked out and thrown into the valley. Then James was beaten up. Just after Donald woke up, he was overpowered by a man who arrived. One of them took a knife and stabbed James in the thigh to ask him where the gold was. But James' mouth was tougher than a knife. He didn't say a word about the location of the gold. At this time, Thomas, who fainted, woke up, came to the room and directly pounced on him. The 2 of them wrestled together. Donald also woke up. James stepped forward and trapped one of them. He yelled at Donald, "Sailor's knot." Donald came up and put a sailor's knot on him. Then his skull cracked and he died. That's all there was to it. They had to dump his body at sea. James didn't want to throw Donald into the sea. At that moment, Thomas also wanted to kill himself. James advised him that you have a family. Thomas said, "It's because I have a family that I can't live. I don't want my wife and children to know that I'm a murderer." Finally, Big Thomas jumped into the sea. After he begged, James pushed his head into the water. He helped him commit suicide.